there's a lot of different ways to live life. The average person, the standard person, lives life by getting in a relationship, having two kids, one pet, a house, and one or two people in the household work. And so it's statistically fair to say that most people will spend their life in a house with a job. You can live without a house. I've proven that. I've lived without a house for 4 years. It is odd. It is less than 1% of society you are considered homeless. And I think that if you live without a house and you don't have a job, you are not just homeless, you are destitute. Because even without a house, a mortgage, or rent, you still have car insurance, gas, food, eye contact solution, soap, you name it. I mean, the list can go on and on. Car repairs, eventually need a new car. I mean, everything. Andre, great to see you, brother. Good to see you, Twister. Thank you for everything. So, the need for income has to be solved. You can't get around it, okay, by just cutting expenses, by just getting rid of your house. You know, many people in retirement downsize their house because you can become more efficient in the amount of money you spend on housing based on having something smaller to fit your needs. But you can't get around the elephant in the room, which is income. And if you're not going to work, if you're going to try to live life without a house, you can try to make that work. But if you're going to try to live life without a job, long term, you're not going to be able to make it work because you're either going to burn up your savings or you're going to have enough saved, enough wherewithal to get on the road, and then you're going to get off the road. In my experience and the people I've met and seen, if they don't have a job and they hit the road, they're eventually going to get on some type of either disability, government assistance, or they're going to hit the jackpot by increasing their revenue through something like YouTube. Okay, even Bob Wells, the biggest YouTuber who tells a lot of people to live this lifestyle, he increased his revenue by intentionally growing his YouTube channel, because originally he had a YouTube channel with another guy and it wasn't that popular. It wasn't making traction. So he left that guy, formed his own channel and grew it. And then he formed an LLC, and then he directed people to his website. He wrote a book, and eventually now he stars in a movie as a nonprofit. So he has a job. Now, he started on his road by being on disability. Okay, and so he was like this camp host, and then I think he got in a motorcycle accident and he got some disability. And so I do see people, live that life. They get on disability and they build their van or whatever, and then they get on the road. But I don't see people stay on the road, okay? Because you can survive without a house, but not without a job. Now, if you have disability or Social Security or investments, okay, and you say instead of a job, I'm able to live off disability, Social Security, or investments, then that makes sense, but you still need a budget, okay? Because the work of life, even when you get out of the 9-to-5 workforce, you are an entrepreneur. Okay? You have to think about it. Even let's say you work your entire life, you're 62, 65, you have no workforce job. But now you have to manage your fixed income through Social Security, investments, whatever. Okay. And you have to basically, like any business owner, okay, have a budget, allocate resources, how much goes to my house, how much goes to my insurances, and then what do I do with the surplus? See, life, even when you have a fixed income guaranteed through investments, through Social Security, you worked, even if you worked. When you don't have a job, your job, okay, is to manage your life. The awareness of budgeting, the awareness of the ins and outs, okay, of navigating society and taking care of yourself and your responsibilities, even if you're retired, even if you're disabled, even if you're an entrepreneur, is something that you can never get around. You know, even getting around not having a house is not easy. Again, it's less than 1% of society. And I think more and more of my videos will probably get away from car living because I've kind of, it's still a major part of my channel, but I do get a little discouraged because I get a lot of people that I don't feel should even be close to being on the road. And I in good conscience, cannot tell them to get on the road because I don't think they're at that point. I don't think most people should do what I do. But I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to tell someone not to do it. But I'm not going to encourage people to do it. Because what I've seen is, for me, if I didn't have a job, living on the road would be destitute. Okay. And I question someone getting on the road that doesn't already have a job. It's like, I don't understand how you're going to make that work, because I understand that you still got bills. Now, you can eat out of a can, you can stay parked, but then you have to say, I'm living without a house, without a job. I'm basically living out of a can and I'm not going to move my car much. You figured out how to live life totally destitute. So to me, that doesn't sound inspiring. And that's my channel, Inspirational Nomad, not Destitution Nomad. So again, I see people, if they're that destitute, would be better off to get government subsidies and help rather than just get rid of the house, get rid of the apartment, and forget about the job. I mean, so, that's, some of my major thoughts tonight as, I yield comments and as I experience life, and even me, as I look at opportunities to get off the road, if the opportunity presents itself. But I say to myself, what really makes me enjoy the road is I have a job. And this is a side hustle, and then I had DoorDash. What really makes me inspired is getting ahead. What really makes me inspired is seeing my savings grow. What really makes me inspired, is knowing that I have options. The nomadic life is about owning your life. Financial freedom about owning your life. I haven't seen, there's probably exceptions, but I have not seen someone without a job getting ahead, being inspired. Now, again, you can't point to a YouTuber. You can't point to someone being interviewed by a YouTuber because that's part of the thing, and they never do a follow-up. Okay. So, really, all you have to go on is what you think and what you know. And what I know is the need for income never goes away, even after you retire. And the reason you use your energy in your working years to build up a nest egg is because your energy and your ability to generate revenue as you get older, there's less opportunity. And even me at 41, I have less energy than 31. Okay. So my thoughts tonight are living without a house is hard enough. Not hard per se that it can't be done. But if you're going to live full-time for years without a house, it's hard. I see plenty of people go on vacation, 4 or 5 months, weeks, even a year. But I see very few people more than 3 years full-time on the road. Without, like ESP's in here, we're going to read the comments. Even like me, I did an hotel rental, not without supplementing it with some stays at some other avenues, especially if there's a major life event. So I would never recommend anyone go without a house and without a job. Everyone should do whatever they want. It's their life, but this is my channel. And my channel, through my experience and my observations, no one lives a good life without a job. It's true. I know people, they have a house, but without a job, they don't live a good life. I really don't. I can't say, in my experience, with my family members that have some government assistance, with my mom, she's even working a side job now with 2 bad knees at 74, just to keep active because she's the type of person staying in bed all day. So I haven't seen anyone I know in my life that is living a great life, old, young, or in the middle, without a job. So, and you can look in your own life. You look at your own life. You look at your own family and friends. Look at yourself. And you say to yourself, without a job, how inspired am I? What am I doing every day? How do I feel? Now, I think the ultimate goal for me and others is to work jobs that we like more than jobs we hate. Maybe work for ourselves, be entrepreneur, maybe live off our investments, etc. So, but even that, again, is a job, because you're an entrepreneur, you're managing yourself. It's like, so, those are my thoughts. Let's go to all live comments. If you appreciate these videos, click that thumbs up if they help you. You want to be a member, click that blue join button to support the channel or get limited on access, unlimited access to the live chats. So, what's up? Twister, Mary Taz, ESP. Shout out to everyone out there, man. It was cool today in South Florida. Hotter up north. Make a mental note. So a lot of people always say, go up north if you don't have a house. That's the reason you're a nomad. Well, then they don't understand the nomad life. Again, they're delusional because up north right now, it's hotter than down south. Now, again, that may change as we get later on to July, but right now we're about in the middle of July. So, make these mental notes, okay? Andre, again, great to see you. Andre, proud of you for your side work yesterday. Twister, thank you very much for being a very positive person and for all your positive, encouraging comments. ESP. Hey, Sam, I'm in the drive-thru getting a salad and fries. There you go. That's got to cost about $10 right there, and that's one meal. Okay. That's just one meal. So you probably have to, one meal, usually most people have 3 meals a day. So $30 a day, I think that's more realistic, times 30 days a month, that's $900. And you say, again, I want to eat out of a can. I said, well, I'm not mad at you, but I don't know if you're going to want to eat out of a can the rest of your life. So I'm going to do a video about that, about, eating like a king or eating like a queen. Part of the joy of minimalism, cutting your housing expenses, but increasing your income, is you can spend more of your disposable income on food that you enjoy, because that's what kind of makes life sometimes more enjoyable. Now, certainly, if you fall upon tough times and you lose your job or you lose a source of income, then you can cut back on food and you could eat out of a can. Dave Ramsey, who I followed, he basically goes live on rice and beans, which is very similar to that mindset. But the whole point is, if you need to do it, but, that's a very tough way to live forever. So that's what you have to be mindful of. It's like that can get very uninspiring. Enjoy ESP. ESP, I know. Before you say it laughing, well, I'm not busting your balls tonight. Look, ESP, I respect you. You work hard. You're a positive person and you're enjoying your life. And like I said, you're in good shape. I've seen your videos, so I'm not mad at you at all, ESP. You earned it. You're a great person. I want you to enjoy yourself. Twister, hello, ESP. That sounds good. Twister, you're very positive. That's your gift. You're a very positive person. I appreciate you. ESP, long line. Everyone's got that disposable income. Inflation's high, and that's why they're raising prices. ESP, I'm listening on my car stereo via Bluetooth. Well, that's a blessing. Look, technology makes it so that we can have a job without working in the steel mill for 30 years. It may be true that, your parents worked a job maybe for a company for 30 years, same company, and you grew up in the same town, but there was no Uber, DoorDash, Lyft. There was no working remote. In many instances, there was not as many opportunities. How many people now, I think about how many people now, good to see a suitcase. I think about how many people now complain about like a $3 delivery with DoorDash. Like they can accept it or deny it. Sometimes they even complain about $8 delivery. They're sitting in their car. They don't like it. I think about if they don't have that tenacity to go after that money, would they be able to show up every day to a steel mill plant? I think about someone who's 25 living in their mom's house. Would they be able to go to an automotive plant every day and do hard labor? I think not. I think that a lot of people are delusional, thinking that, now is harder than previous years. I think there's never been a greater need for more people in the workforce statistically in many instances. And I'm not mad at people for trying to live without a job, but if you're trying to live without a job, you're basically saying you're an entrepreneur, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a great goal. I would love to, be I have a similar mindset, but I know what it takes to manage that. And, you still have to pay your taxes. I've seen a lot of nomads on YouTube that try to live without a job, and they fail when it comes to documenting their expenses and tracking their taxes. Being an independent contractor with YouTube or DoorDash, etc., is even if they get lucky and they hit it big, they don't have the business mindset. They're treating it like it's not a job, and they just hit this lottery. And many people who hit the lottery and aren't used to working or having a certain business IQ, they go down that same algorithm, where they don't pay taxes, where there's a lot of issues, etc. So managing money is a job, even if you're living off investments. How much do you risk? How much do you put in stable assets like a savings account versus how much is going to get eaten up by inflation if you don't risk any? And so, even if someone gives you $1 million, now you may not need a job, but you have to figure out how to manage that money in order to stay without a job. What's the yield, on the dividend for this company? What's the bond rate? What's the average return in the S&P 500? What's the current inflation rate? How much can I put in the savings account that's insured by the federal government? Okay. So, these are things, if you really wanted to try to, get away from a non-conforming job, these are the things you'd have to start to research. So, be very careful. Keith Smith, all the way from Oklahoma, $2 super chat. Love to you. Snow, I'll be your sugar daddy if you don't want to work. No, that's toxic. I would tell anyone right now, a sugar daddy or a sugar mama is toxic. And even if you're playing around, I appreciate all your positivity, Keith Smith. I don't mean it's negative, but I have to speak what I feel in my soul. Is that talk gets you in trouble? And anyone with that mindset, you're going to end up with a restraining order, and then and Keith Smith will end up men going their own way. Then he'll want to go to Dominican Republican or the Philippines to get some girl on a low currency exchange rate, and Snow will never develop. So, look, a lot of times in the previous generation, my mother's generation, definitely my grandmother's generation, women were not able to be in the workforce, and that's why many of them stayed in marriages, or when they got divorced, they're living on very low Social Security. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is go backwards. Okay, and so for me, now if you get married on an equal basis, you respect each other equally, you come up with a business plan that I'm going to be a stay-at-home mother, we're going to sign a prenup, whatever we're going to do, then that's different. But I understand like if you're going to date someone, you want to kind of know, if they have money or not. But to me, the biggest red flag is if you date someone, they don't have a job, it's almost like a sign they don't even respect themselves. Like I would, whether you're a man or a woman, if I met obviously I know as far as sex, put that aside, because obviously I know primitively, any of us would want to have sex with anything that turns us on, definitely from a male's perspective, but from a respect, you don't respect anyone that's physically and mentally able to work and doesn't. Doesn't mean they have to work a regular job, but they're not doing something, whether it's a creative venture, even if they're living off dividends, if they're managing their money through a portfolio and they're showing positive returns, that's a job. You're basically a hedge fund manager for yourself. But whether you're a man or a woman, if you meet someone and they don't have a job, they have all this extra time. And there may be some exceptions, but every person I've met that has all that extra time, if they're not of a mindset of taking care of myself as a job, you are basically going to get in a relationship with someone who will destroy your life. Destroy it, okay? And I've seen it, so it's not like I don't feel bad at all about saying it. I know there's exceptions, but I know that I know that's fact, at least in my experience. And again, you look at your own life. You don't have to listen to me as gospel. Everyone has been through their own life experience. Okay. And I totally respect, and I'm on the same mindset. Let's try to retire early. Let's own our life. Let's work jobs that we're inspired with. But even if you're going to do all that, retire early, work jobs you're inspired, you got to get money somehow. So that means you got to build up your nest egg in order to get to a point where you can live off your investments. And all that's an ongoing cutting of the grass. Keith Smith, $2 super chat. I had a sugar mama, and got stalked for 4 years. Yeah, so that's exactly what happens. You got to keep them how you get them. Like I remember when Mary J. Blige got with that guy and eventually married him, he was married to someone else. And then eventually she got divorced. And I remember hearing that, you keep them how you get them. So if you get someone under a toxic situation, you're going to lose them under the same toxic situation. Because one is relationships are hard enough. But if both people are not really in tune, in many ways, it's a disaster. And so, let's go back to live comments. I want to read everyone's comments again. Thank you for watching. Click the thumbs up if these videos help you. Thank you to all my members. Thank you, Keith Smith. Love to you guys and girls. Shout out to you, Suitcase, too. I see you over 300 subs, man. Mary Taz. Hey, Mary Taz. I hope you are doing well. Great to see you. Prayers to you and your doggy. Love to you. Oh, Death 3 Cornublia. I remember you. Shout out to the UK. I believe you're from overseas. Welcome back. That's the greatest gift about the memberships. You can join at any time or cancel at any time. This ain't a manipulative thing where you're stuck. Welcome back, Death 3 Nublia. I believe you're in the UK, right? Shout out to the UK. Twista. Hello, Mary Taz. Savat, what's up, brother? Savat was a truck driver, I believe. He's in Jacksonville. Savat, are you still driving trucks? Or have you gotten a stationary job now that you've kind of settled in Jacksonville? A truck driver is very much like a nomad. So now, see, here's another example. You could be a truck driver and not have a house. And you could live a great life. But you can't be without the truck driving job. The job, is a solid middle-class job. Now, it's a very tough job. A lot of respect to the truck drivers. Because you're driving for a long period of time. It's not easy to drive those things. I mean, certain people have a gift for them. I don't have that gift, but I respect it. But that's another example that you can live on the road without a house and you can have a job such as a truck driver. And it's a great job, middle-class job. You could probably even leverage it up and then you could do a lot of things from that. So, that's my thoughts. 4 years on the road with no house. And even that's hard to live without a house or an apartment. But if you have a job, you can do it. If you don't have a job, to me, it's like it's only a matter of time before you get back into a house. The job is what allows you to stay without a house. If you don't have a job, you need shelter because you're going to be getting chased around by cops, security guards, etc. because you're not going to be moving because you don't have the money to move around when the spot gets hot. Believe me, guys, you think I'm not in areas sometimes where the spot gets hot, I got to keep it moving. I don't have a problem with it because I stay in a flow. But for some people, if they can only spend this much in gas, this much, they're going to get caught in a tough situation. Let's continue to read. Love to you, everyone. Savat said it was buffering. I hope it's not buffering. Suitcase, again, howdy, good to see you, Suitcase. Safe travels. I think you're heading up north. D, hey, Sam and friends. Hey, D, how are you? Great to see you. T. Smith, thank you again. Shout out to Oklahoma, brother. Snow, great to see you, Snow. Wait, where did that come from? Oh, we talking about with Keith Smith? Yeah. Well, everyone was thinking about you. You had some great comments last night, and you got a beautiful profile picture. So look, but you're 24. So Snow, you don't like I know that right now you're in the prime. 24 to 32, the cooch is popping, everything's popping, every guy wants to get with you. If you're decent, okay. Now, do I trust that avatar picture? No, not out of disrespect, but I don't trust any avatar picture. But that's the prime of your physical looks, just about between 24 to 34, something like that, okay? But the problem is, if you date someone just on their looks, by the time they're middle-aged and their looks start to go down, and then all you're left with is the artificial thing that you started a relationship with, that's how most people wake up in a midlife crisis. They have a house. They may even have a job, but they hate their life. And they may not hate their spouse, but they want to get out and they can't because it's just so hard to get out once you've gotten in. So, a lot of people say, well, if I have a house, then I have everything I need. And my family, that's not the case. I mean, I think that if you don't have any inspiration, any personal motivation for what you want to do with your life, even at a very small level, you will wake up in a house, even if it's paid for, even if you have a job, and you'll wake up very uninspired. Now, if you wake up without a job, you're always going to be uninspired. Because to me, now, unless you're a stay-at-home mom, again, and you're working as a family unit, or you're a stay-at-home dad, or you're a retiree, or you're disabled, but you're managing what you have and you're figuring out what you can do with what you have, that's almost a job, okay? So there is no negative tone to anyone who is in a situation where they physically or mentally can't work or they're retired. The tone is based on, even if that's you, there is still work to do every day as far as getting up at certain time, doing certain things, and this flow of life, Back to live comments. Hopefully it's not buffering. Let me know in the comments. Snow, I've actually realized that I don't think I want to get married. There's nothing wrong with that. I have way too much I need to get organized. That's actually a very responsible choice. I love my freedom. Yeah, I agree with that. I've grown up without my family and no one to answer to. Yeah, once you have an independent spirit and you've been able to endure without, it's very hard to get back to answering to people. And if you have a child, even if you have a pet, and certainly if you get married with a child and a pet, you don't own your life anymore. And I understand. I mean, you have to take care of your responsibilities. So what I would tell you, Snow, though, is just remember to use birth control then, and also to tie your tubes. Now, at 24, you may change your mind at 28 when your ovaries are exploding and, whatever. You have a right to change. And you will change. There's no way that at 24 you're going to think the same as what you will at 34. So give yourself the space and the respect to change your mind if you want. Because like I've often said, your brain doesn't develop till you're 25 fully, and you don't know who you are till 35. So, you have a right to change your mind, but I appreciate your thoughts. There's something to that. ESP. She goes, Jake McCullen on YouTube lives in his car and does DoorDash. He just got $8,000 tax bill. Yeah, doesn't he also have an addiction problem? And if he has an $8,000 tax bill, that means that's got to be at least somewhere between 10 to 25% of his income. So that means he would have had to have made like $40,000 last year. Okay. So, that's where, if someone made $40,000, where are they spending the money if they can't even pay their taxes? Addictions. So, or just very poor management. But it sounds like to me, I don't know him personally, and I don't really watch the channel, but I did hear that. So if you're making $40,000 as a single person with no kids, no pets, it's lower middle class range, but you should be able to pay your taxes and not be destitute and eat and thrive and be fine. So, well, you'd be able to, I don't know about thrive per se, but you'd be fine as long as you manage it right. But obviously when you have addictions, you could, look, if you have an addiction, a deadly addiction, we all have something that we struggle with per se, maybe. Obviously some more than others, and there's no disrespect to those who struggle, but we're sharing here. You can make 100, 200K a year. If you have an addiction, all it does is feed the addiction. And there's been many people that testify that actually when you have addiction, especially drugs or gambling, that making more money is actually worse for you. I remember there was a radio host in New York City for sports, Boomer and Carton. So Carton was one of the hosts, and he was making over $1 million a year on his contract, but he had a gambling problem. So he ended up owing on the street, a loan shark or something, millions of dollars. So he ended up running this scam. So here he is. He was making seven figures, $1 million, but he had a gambling problem. He lost everything. I remember there was a record producer, Scott Storch, I believe. I think he was in Miami. He had a cocaine problem. He was making tens of millions of dollars at the height of his career, but it was all to feed the cocaine addiction. So I don't know, Jake. But from what my understanding, I could be wrong, is that may be part of the problem. But at the very least, like I say, let's just say you were retired, or yeah, let's say you were retired and you're living on $40,000 a year on dividends. You still have a job as like a hedge fund manager of your own life to pay your quarterly taxes or yearly taxes, to allocate a certain amount of money for your health care. In America, we still have to pay for our own health care. So now if you're in poverty, you're not paying for your own health care, you have Medicaid. But what I've learned for those, and this is in my own family, so I'm gonna speak on it, you can they got free health care, but they won't even go to the dentist. So just because you have free health care doesn't mean you'll use it. There's certain people that have a certain mentality that even if they're able to survive without a job, it's just not there. Jay, thank you very much for this gracious tip. $4.99. I know a woman in her 30s who makes $106,000 and lives with her mom, paying her $600 in rent, and she's always broke. Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. Well, one is, she's blessed. I mean, yeah, obviously there's a problem, whether it's a shopping addiction, gambling, drugs, or just, I mean, you have to really manage your money horribly to be broke at that standpoint, because, but that's why even learning to manage your money, and Dave Ramsey helped me at least get a structure, is that you have to have some basic knowledge and some daily disciplines and monthly and quarterly disciplines to look at your balance sheet. You're a hedge fund manager of your own accounting, to at least be aware of what your money is doing. That's a job. Accounting is a job. Hedge fund manager, stockbroker, these are all jobs. Now, maybe you're not punching a 9 to 5, but if you don't have that job mentality towards your finances, here you are making 106, basically paying no rent. I pay more than that in my Nomad life per month. So, that's what I mean. Like, again, you can live without the house. You can't live without the job. And even if you don't have that 9 to 5 job, you have a job of an entrepreneur managing your finances, paying your taxes, paying your health care, projecting your savings, managing inflation, etc. So, good comment. Let's go back to live comments. K Smith, thank you again, brother. We love you. Snow, wow. He must be making money from people joining through his link. Who's that? I don't know. What was that? Maybe I missed. Maybe I was talking about something. Maybe it was Bob Wells. I was talking about something like that. I'm not sure. Death 3 Nublia, welcome back again. Hello, friends. Great to have you back. We love you, man. Shout out to you. How's everything been? D. Snow, go ahead on your shoulders. Work on yourself. Yeah, at 24, like I say, the encouraging thing to Snow and anyone out there that, you're in your young 20s and you don't really have a direction, that's okay. The thing that you can encourage yourself with is you don't have kids, maybe. As long as you don't have kids and you don't have any major responsibilities, that's great. Now, sometimes having kids and things pushes people to do something. So you have to be careful. If you don't have any responsibilities, sometimes that can make you lazy. But like sometimes when I was young, having a house at the age of 22 pushed me to, work hard, work side work overtime, because I had to pay the mortgage. Okay. So I think about it now, like if I was 22 with no house, I would still have a job, because for me, no one needs to sell me. I don't want to work, but I want money. I want independence. So for me, that's like, I'm going to do what I got to do. But I don't know if I would have pushed myself as much to advance my career if I didn't have as many bills. So that's something that the younger people who are living without a house as a nomad, or living very simple, or paying their parents very small amount of rent, even if you have a job, maybe working at a gas station, or working detailing cars, or working DoorDash, that's great. Respect to you. But you also have to remember that at a certain point, you kind of got to go to another level if you have the ability, because working consistently in an industry at a level will get you to the next level. If you stay at the lower level, it's hard to go up the older you get. So when you're young, you got the extra energy, the wherewithal. You want to twinker around to find out maybe what you like, what you don't. But you want to do that so by the time you're close to your 30s, you're focusing on an industry, medical industry, IT, whatever. There's some exceptions, but and you at least want to have some financial literature. Again, whether you research Dave Ramsey or you research financial freedom yourself, You have to be able to manage a budget sheet. You have to be able to look at your finances. You have to know the disconnect between a spreadsheet and your emotions. What does that mean? Good to see you, Jesse. That means like if you have everyone knows like you got to eat 3,000 calories a day to maintain your weight. To lose weight, you got to be under 2,000 calories. So everyone knows that, but just about everyone, well, at least me, eating 2,000 calories a day, unless when I was in extreme mode, I did it for like 3 years to get out of obesity. For most people, they're gonna eat more than 2,000 calories because emotional. Physically, you don't need it. Physically, 2,000 calories plenty to keep you going. So that's where most people don't understand. There's emotions and there's math. And humans are mainly emotional, less mathematical. If humans were mainly mathematical, no one would be addicted to drugs because mathematically it makes no sense. No one would go over their budget. No one would go eat over calories. So if you can understand not just math, but emotions, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to always control it, but you'll be more aware, you'll be more informed, and your life will be better for it. Love to you. Snow says thank you. Suitcase, Sam, I want to say thank you for congrats on my channel. No, I'm happy for you, man. Wow. I'm thankful that someone with a much bigger platform would even notice someone such as myself. Well, grateful. Well, that's what impressed me about your Suitcase is that, you remain grateful and, you try to have the positive attitude. And I was at where you're at. Like I say, no, I didn't inherit a YouTube channel. I didn't have Bob Wells or someone recommended me. Like I just started my YouTube channel like a lot of people here just may start it. And I remember when I had when I had 100 subscribers, when I was at your point, I think you got the 300 subscribers faster than me. Because for me to get to 300 subscribers, I think it took me 6 months or 4 months. So look, YouTube is very tough to make any money off of. You're very fortunate if you even get monetized. Then if you get monetized, to get above a couple $100 a month is very hard. And so, just like everything in my life, I realized that, once you've done what you need to do and you have an opportunity to either open a door for someone or encourage them, you do it. Like, when I got into the electrical union, I didn't just say, all right, I'm here, no one else. I tried to get other friends into it. Now, some of them didn't take me up on the opportunity. And it's no love lost, but I tried. It's like, so I've also learned, look, I'm not going to bend over backwards to help someone that's not helping themselves because I've gotten burnt. But also, not just because I've gotten burnt, because it's a waste of energy. It's like when you try to help someone that isn't helping themselves, unless there's an extreme circumstance where they're in an emergency, you're just going to waste their time and you're going to waste that opportunity. Maybe someone else will need it. So, look, at the very least, if you're fortunate enough in life to do a little bit good, it doesn't mean you should feel guilty. But if you have an opportunity to give someone else an opportunity, if they're showing the initiative and putting in the work, then, you give it. Okay. Now, you may not always think, well, I don't know if I want to give an opportunity or open, but at the very least, you should encourage someone, okay, who is trying, okay, and here's the key thing for me, has a positive attitude. Because to me, there's people smarter than me, stronger than me, etc. I just don't want to be friends with someone who is bad people. I don't care. It's like I don't want to be friends with toxic people. We're all imperfect, myself included. So I don't want to make that statement like, oh, I'm better than someone else. No, but look, we kind of all know if we vibe with someone or if we don't. Now, there's no guarantee we're all going to be friends forever. Like I say, there may come a day where I don't like you, you don't like me, and I'm just speaking in general to all people. Part of friendships is you grow apart. I had some great viewers, we had a fallout. I had some great friends, we don't speak anymore. That's part of life. And, if we can both respect that we may not always be cool, that's fine. I'm not anyone's enemy. I'm not out in the streets, or I'm never out looking to hurt people, even if I don't like them. Because to me, I don't spend energy on trying to hurt people. So, but I'm also at a point in my life where I don't want to be hurt, so I have no problem cutting off people, especially insecure people. Hal, thank you, brother. Hal is on his 3rd week with a job, with a new apartment, changing his life. $2 super chat. I'm passing my good friend's resume for a position. Well, you know what? One is, again, congratulations on your 3rd week with your new job. In my opinion, I would not do it. Why? Again, when you get a new job, stay on that job for 6 to 8 months, say very little, be a sponge, and stay out of trouble. After you've been there for about a year, then it's time where you can assert yourself, open up doors, etc. So I'm not, now, again, let me add something to that. I actually got to correct some of that. I think back on my life, I got hired for a job, and the 2nd week on the job, the manager said, we're looking for another person. And I said, I got a guy. So I will correct myself. I did recommend a friend I knew, but I knew this guy, he was legit, for a job after the 2nd week being hired. So I have to correct myself. I thought about my own experience there. So I will say this, Hal, I fully felt confident in my friend as far as I worked with him in another job for many years. So I would say if you've worked with this other person and you're fully confident in them, then there are exceptions to the rules. So that's a fair point. And I appreciate you bringing that up. Gives us something to talk about. It's good. All right, let's take a hydration break. Let's go back to comments. Good comments tonight, guys and girls. Shout out again to everyone out there. Click that thumbs up if you haven't. Thank you to all my members and my newest member back, Death 3 Nublica. D. Remember Rambo walking through that town? Yes, as a loner, and then the cop was following him. At least that's what I'm remembering from one of the Rambos. And the cop basically didn't want him in the town anymore. He was a drifter. And look, even for me, that happens. Have I ever been stopped by a cop? Well, I've had the cops knock on my door a couple times throughout my 4 years, and it was no problem. You know, I kept it moving. I did have somebody call the cops on me once. Why? When I was back in New Jersey, they saw me parked outside of a McDonald's for a couple hours. I was working on my laptop. That's when we were in lockdown. And the McDonald's employee said, there's someone in the parking lot. I was working off my laptop or whatever. I guess they said they don't know what he's doing. And, you know, the cops just circled around. And it was an in and out thing. And once in a while, when I'm in a parking lot, if there's a security patrol, what they'll do is they'll park next to you. They won't say anything. You're not breaking the law. But they park next to you to try to push you along. So look, no matter how neat you are, no matter how respectful, even if you got 2 jobs, the police officer and sometimes the surrounding people, remember, if you live without a house, you are less than 1% of society. So 99% of society, even if you are totally on the upright, they're going to look at you a little bit different. And they want to keep you moving. They don't. And I understand it. Look, they don't want that parking lot to become a homeless camp. And people don't, and I got to be honest, most people without a house do not have a job. That's pretty much it. So if you get people without a house, without a job, loitering basically means you're staying around an area and you're not moving. It can become an issue. So I can understand that because I've had a house for 15 years. I have a job. I understand society. So now it's still hurtful. I'll be honest with you. It's still hurtful when you get the knock on the door, when the cop is like looking at you, or if a security guard, it's hurtful. But you have to step outside yourself and understand they're doing their job. And even the people who may say something, I can understand it. So, it's not easy though. You have to really step outside yourself and understand things from other people's perspective. So like even Rambo, right? When Rambo was getting pushed along, he started busting the cop's balls. Now the cop was wrong. He was being a little bit tough, but even Rambo, for me, it's like, look, man, You have to pick and choose your battles. And if you're willingly living as a nomad, then what your goal, at least my goal, is to be as free as possible to live your best life and to allocate resources to your dreams and goals and your passions. Okay. And so none of those dreams, goals, and passions are having problems with the law or, getting in trouble. So if I see I need to keep it moving, I just keep it moving. Doesn't mean I have to leave the state or town, but I understand there's a flow I have to maintain. Okay. So now, if you're living without a house and without a job, again, I think you'd be better off if there's a reason you can't work to go get a government subsidy, because there's only so long that you can keep in this flow of society without a job, unless you're living off a level of fixed income, Social Security, disability, investments, etc., and you know how to manage it. But knowing how to manage that is a job. You're a hedge fund manager, basically, for yourself. So, back to live comments. Snow. Got to go back to work. Thumbs up to you. Everyone have a great evening. Shout to Snow, working in a warehouse. Keep living your best life, Snow. We appreciate all your comments. You had a great comments last night. Twisted, take care, Snow. I agree. Snow, I'm doing well, by the way. Awesome. Today's my first day back at the job. There you go. Money bag emoji. After coming back to GA, shout to Georgia, to save money. Well, Snow, like I say, you also, my impression from you is that you have a positive attitude. So all of us go through our ups and downs in life, okay? No way around it. Some of us have more opportunities than others based on certain circumstances, but in my experience in life, if you overall keep a positive attitude with people and overall you are reliable, then overall you're always going to have enough opportunities to, at very bare minimum, get everything you need to survive. And over time, I think you'll have more than enough. So the two biggest things I would tell people to do has nothing to do with a degree, is when dealing with people. Now, you guys know I come on YouTube. It's an entertainment thing. Sometimes I vent, okay? But I don't vent in public. I don't vent to people in the world. So when you're working with people, there's two major criteria. You have to overall stay positive, and you have to overall be reliable. Because even if you're a smart, hard worker and you're not reliable, you're no value. And even if you're smart, hardworking, but you don't get along with your coworkers, it's going to be very hard to find any job in any position where you totally don't have to interact with anyone. And, so it's just like, you know what I mean? So have a positive attitude, show up, and stay out of trouble. Suitcase, good evening, everyone. Love to you, Suitcase. Death 3 Nublia. I feel like a loser. For the past 5 to 7 years now, I feel like I have control of my emotions and motivation. You must have meant you feel like you've lost control. Well, one is, I understand and I appreciate you sharing. Sharing and admitting is part of a problem, is part of the step of at least shedding light on it to heal it and to grow from it. Now, again, obviously try to stay away from the word loser. I don't like that word. It's very negative. As far as definitely using it towards yourself or others, even though sometimes I may use it too, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I try not to make it a practice, okay? So, and then the other thing is, look, we can't go backwards. If you lost money, if you lost time, we can't go backwards. And all we can do is get through today. You get through another day without feeding your addiction. You get through another day showing up to your job. That's a win. And life is nothing but a series of days. So guess what? You got today, and then you focus on tomorrow when tomorrow comes, and you just keep putting that together. Twister, what's up, Suitcase? D, Sam, we're under tropical storm warning from Elsa with a tornado. Yeah, it's basically making its way up the East Coast. So again, tornadoes, and I want to say hurricanes, though. Hurricanes don't just hit Florida. They hit the entire coastal areas. Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey, in October, we lost power for 7 days. A lot of people lost their house. Twister, I feel that, Nublia. D, welcome, Nublia, back. Yeah. Jay, thank you again. I know I read that, but I very much appreciate that. We talked on it. Yeah, you can make, I've known people in my life, they made 6 figures. They had too much debt. They didn't manage their money. And they had a job, but they weren't able to get ahead. And they had 2 houses. And I almost fell into that trap. In my opinion, it's my opinion now, don't have 2 houses. You say, well, that's stupid advice. Houses went up. If your house went up in value, but you didn't sell it, you didn't make money. Okay. And actually, when your house goes up in value and you hold on to it, you have to pay higher property taxes. That's more money out of your pocket, higher home insurance. Okay. And the cost to maintain it are going to go up because the cost of materials, everything's going up, inflation. So obviously, once you get to a certain financial point, asset allocation to own property may make sense. And even me, I'm looking at that point. But you have to be at a very high level to justify two homes. And like, let's say another example. You say, well, I don't want to have a job. I'm going to buy property and rent it out. Well, no, you have a job. You're a landlord and you're a property manager. That's a job. And you have to pay taxes, you have to pay health insurance, and you got to do work. So I always want people to remember that. Okay, good job. Nublia says, thank you, friends. Nublia, I've been learning and taking more responsibility for myself. Good job. Unfortunately, me being human, we all are, I'm not improving as fast as I want. Okay. But I'm heading in the right direction. Well, that's what we like to hear. So we all need grace. We all fall. And we're not in competition with anyone. We're just trying to improve. We're not going to be perfect, but we're trying to improve and live our best life. So, Nublia, we appreciate you. Keep going in that right direction. You fall, you get back up. Al, what's good, Sam? Great to see you. Jessie O, my first ever member. Great to see you. She goes, oh, I didn't know this. I am also close to 62 years old woman with over 1 million in assets. That's awesome, Jessie. She never want to pay. Oh, this, you're talking about somebody else. She never wants to pay the restaurant bill. Yeah, well, old people, they get a little bit cheap because they want to be able to make their money work the rest of their life. They know they can't work that much longer. Her annuity alone went up 15% this year. Yep. I can't lie. I am jealous. Well, it's understandable. But Jesse, you're very smart. You're also a very positive person. And I know it's tough for you with the trading, like I get hooked into sometimes too. So, like I say, if you're a day trader and that's one of your goals to live off your investments, it's not a bad goal, but it's a very tough thing to do full time. So you have to treat it almost like YouTube. You got to have a main job, do that on the side. And then if you lose a certain amount in a year, you have to stop and reevaluate because you don't want to have a main job and just feed the addiction of day trading because it's just not wise. It's not easy, but you work too hard, you're too smart, you're too positive to destroy your life and your mental health in trying to make more money. I've been there. I feel that. It's something I struggle with, but I try to share, like Nubly is sharing. It's good to share. It's good to testify. It's good to express yourself because it focuses yourself. And that's what we're doing in these live feeds. Love to you. Hal, I didn't feel inspired today at work. That's all right. You'll feel inspired when that direct deposit comes. I'm still getting used to it. You're only in the third week, man. You're still a baby. Remember, it takes 9 months to deliver a baby. So it's going to take 9 months to get used to that job. Tomorrow I get paid. Oh, I can't wait to see the live feed tomorrow. Direct deposit for the first time. It's going to be like an orgasm, man. So Hal, here's the alternative. I want to encourage everyone that is out there. Today on your third week on a job, tomorrow you get paid. How would you have felt if you weren't working the past 3 weeks? You decided not to take the job, stay unemployed. Unemployment's getting ready to run out. Your confidence is down because you had an opportunity, but you were scared. You would be in a negative spiral. So you did the right thing by taking a job. You're going to do the right thing by staying on that job for at least a year and focus on that one day at a time, one direct deposit at a time. My man, Freedom Mobile Living has got that entrepreneur nomad spirit. I am late. All love. Good evening, Sam. Great to see you. I know you got that entrepreneur spirit. And remember, even if you don't have a conforming job, as an entrepreneur, your job is to manage your business. You have a job. Good job. Twister, got to go a little early today. I'll catch the replay later. Twister, I want to thank you again for being such a positive person. You've been a blessing to me, and I very much appreciate you. Sam, I am. Shout out to you. Shout out to California. Great to see you. Hal, thank you again. And love to you and your friend. I wish you both the best. I know we talked on it. Thank you. Hal, I gave it to the woman who helped me out. Fair enough. I'm glad that you brought it up. It made me think about my own experience. Thank you, Hal. And shout out to you and all the door openers out there. And again, I want to say this too. I have met people that have given opportunities to me and to others on all spectrums, conservative and liberal people. And I want to say, in my experience, I have actually worked with more conservative people that have opened career doors for other people than liberal. Now, I got to share it. Again, I tend to vote more progressive, Biden over Trump, definitely. But I have to be fair to all the people I know, and I know they voted for Trump, but I also know they give a lot of opportunity to a lot of people. So I think it's very important for me to share that because I have to balance my life experience. D says, Sam, I only have so much time in the day. That's right. And I don't want to waste it, so I choose wisely. Time management is excellent on what I watch in my free time. D, excellent comment. Time management is key. Suitcase says, congratulations, Hal. I agree. Hal. She hit me up and asked me, well, that's good. Okay. If I knew anyone who was looking for work, well, that's awesome because then it doesn't make you feel guilty about it. Not in the same hospital. Oh, that's even better. You got boundaries. I only picked him because he was been looking for work. Okay. I couldn't think of anyone else. No, that makes sense. I worked with him at the hotel for 13 years. Well, that makes absolute sense then. You know his track record. Good job. Snow, oh my God, my company is paying double time for any overtime we do in the month of July. May it rain on you with Ashanti in the background when Murder Inc. was making a lot of money. Now Ashanti need money. So Ashanti may come over there and work for some overtime. Good job. Snow, gonna need a lot of motivation to get through these 12-hour shifts, but I'm determined. Well, in my experience, if you're working a 12-hour shift, that means you're only working 3 to 4 days a week. I rather work 12-hour shifts and work 3 or 4 days a week and have off an extra 3 have off 3 days. So I say keep doing that for the win. You know, Savat at Snow, get that money. I agree, Savat. Great to see you. Shout out to Jacksonville and your family. D, Hal, sorry. Suitcase, I'm a minus 1%. Oh yeah, living in your car, nomad like me. Suitcase, wow. Who knew that one day that the voluntarily homeless would have a voice platform? Look, yeah, now, and that's why I do gotta acknowledge YouTube, Bob Wells, and all the people that definitely paved the way before us. And again, I still want to say that most of the people I met, they don't stay on the road, and it's not necessarily easy. Man, it's not hard, but in my experience, you gotta, even if you're gonna live without a house, you gotta have a job. If not, it's kind of like I think you go down a bad road. Like Suitcase has a certification in a trade where he can work from anywhere. So even if he's choosing not to work, he can also choose to work at any time. If he didn't have that, I don't think he's traveling right now up the East Coast. So, when you don't have a job, you can't just travel up the East Coast. That's the big difference, Suitcase. Bless folks. Now, thank the Lord. Yep. Adam, great to see you, man. Shout out to Illinois. Good to see you, brother. Shout out to you and your family. Snow's laughing. Good laughter's good for slow. You remember Ashanti? Rain on me. Why don't you just rain on me? Charles, what's up, brother? Charles, good to see you, man. What's up, Sam? I started getting my first haters. Well, welcome to YouTube. Yeah, channel on the stream, that happens. If you don't offer things for free, they'll give you the finger. Yeah, but pay your dues, deal with trolls for 3 years, and then when you get monetized, then you can create boundaries. Now, you may say it's not worth it, and I understand that too, but I'm with you, Charles. Oh, D gave a super sticker of a girl who looks like Ashanti when she was at her peak with the sunglasses and the bun. Damn it, D, good super sticker, super chat emoji. $2 from D, shout out to you. Shout out to Ashanti when she had it popping. I liked her mother too. Ashanti's mom looks pretty good. Shout out to you, D, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Snow, true, max is 5 days. Okay, yeah, about 12-hour shifts. Because the company can't legally work us over 60 hours. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to get through this. Yeah, yep. I already have, I like this. $1,000 bonus. Yeah. I like this. And get that 4 weeks of working. That's awesome. Snow, thumbs up to you. Coffee Black. Hey, Coffee Black. Awesome channel. Coffee Black, you're a fighter. Okay. Because Coffee Black, you could easily, all I can say, Coffee Black, is you're tougher than you think. You don't need you are a tough person. You know that. Okay, so keep pushing forward. We appreciate you. We respect you. Adam, Michigan, Sam. Oh, what did I say? I said Illinois. Well, isn't Michigan in Illinois? Guys, once I leave Florida, everywhere is the same, like shithole. I'm sorry, though. Michigan, I apologize. So, guys, this nomad life is in itself an addiction. The freedom is true in one sense. I'm 7 years in and still love it. Wow, are you okay? No, look, I mean, the freedom of it is addicting. I'm not going to lie, because I think about giving it up, And I do think that, it's a little tough. I can respect that. With that being said, guys, I got to go because this area is closing, and I don't want to be in the parking lot when all these businesses are closed, because then I'm going to have to woo, woo, woo. And I'm not living without a house, so I can deal with the woo, woo, woo. That's 5-0. I'm trying to stay under the radar, guys, because I'm trying to live a peaceful life. I want to thank all of you in the live chat tonight. Welcome back, Nublia. We love you, brother. Thank you, all the people, all my members, all the gracious super chats. It's great to see everyone tonight. Hopefully, again, these feeds help you in some way, give some value back to you. Thank you, ESP. We love you. I hope you enjoyed your meal. Adam, this Sunday, I'm going to meet a guy in Chicago at his family's house. You're making some good food, and then I'm going to teach him and his daughter some bushcraft. Well, that sounds good. Look, you work hard. You got a lot of pressure, so I want you to enjoy yourself as much as you can. Adam, then he's giving me a free tattoo. Okay. He's one of the biggest tattoo artists in Chicago. That's cool. What type of tattoo you gonna get? D. Lesson learned today. Don't count on anyone for anything. Also learn you can drive with a cast on your right foot. Oh, you had to drive yourself. You were waiting for someone to give you a ride. Yeah, D's going through a broken leg. So God bless you, D. I worry about that sometimes. Like, God forbid I break my leg or something. God forbid. What would I do? I'd have to get a rental or Airbnb or hotel. So that's one of the risks that us nomads take. Love to you, D. Continue to heal. Appreciate you. Have a peaceful night's sleep. I know you must have been a little bit aggravated today. Adam, love to you, man. Hope your tattoo goes well. ESP says, take care, D. Yeah, we love you, D. We appreciate you. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Adam, we'll talk about that tattoo tomorrow, man. Let me know what you're going to get. Love to you. Thank you.